Right, if you're thinking of buying the Nilfisk 200 bar model that they've just released, but before you splash that cash, you just really want to know what some random bloke in the northwest of England thinks, then splendid, you're watching the right video. Let's crack on. Okay, before I do the little unboxing and then go on to do a comparison, this is my old one. It's a Nilfisk C125.3, which means it's a 125 bar pressure washer. And obviously that is the new one, which is 200 bar. So that's about a 60% increase. So let's see if it's 60% better. I'm sure that is not how the science works, but I'm a simple bloke, so let's see how it goes. I've got quite a lot of patio. Let's have a look. It goes most of the way around the house. There's a lot of it. This was done about a month ago with the C125. You can see it hasn't got everything up. I mean, I wasn't going crazy trying to scrape every single bit up. I was just trying to get the job done in a day because it normally takes 2 days every year, and it's fair to say it's my most hated job of the year. So I'll compare the old one with the new one. So first of all, let's do a little unboxing. This turned up yesterday. It's incredibly heavy, that box. In fact, let me just see if I can weigh it properly for you. Alright, I've got a little one of these handles that you're meant to like weigh your luggage with at the airport. See if I can get it to do its thing. Okay, 23 kilos it's saying. I feel like I probably supported it with my other hand a bit there, so it might be heavier, but it's fair to say this weighs as much as your heaviest airport luggage that they've ever let you check without paying extra. Right, let's unbox it. Oh, by the way, highly recommend these Ganzo knives. This is a clone of a Griptilian, a Benchmade Griptilian. I actually have a real Benchmade Griptilian, and I think this is actually much better made. Much prefer the G10 with the liners. The steel's only D2, I think. Tell life, 440C, but you know, it's cheap steel. But as a knife, I think it's actually better made than genuine Benchmade Griptilians are, personally. Certainly my one, anyway. My real one's got a lot of blade play. It's not great. Oh, looks like it's mostly cardboard packaging, which is nice to see because I hate polystyrene. I hate having to get rid of polystyrene in the bin. I end up getting it all over me. Nozzles, and those are metal. The previous one, the C125, the nozzles were plastic, so instructions. Shan't be needing those. Winding handle for the thingy. First part of the lance. Spray bottle. Having a workbench that's 8 foot by 4 foot definitely helps. So there's no doubt about it, it's definitely a lot heavier than the other one is. I mean, the other one I can pretty much pick up with one arm outstretched. This, there is absolutely no way I'm picking up with one arm outstretched. So one thing I'm really keen to see is this is meant to have a good long hose. It's meant to be 15 metres, I think it says. So let's have a look. I'd say that's about a metre. That's 3, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I mean that was very unscientific, but yeah, it looks like that's about 15 metres. I mean, it's certainly a hell of a lot longer and a much better quality hose than on the C125. Well, that works well. Plenty of room for the hose on there. It's not cramped or anything. So for that nozzle, I'm just going to hand tighten it, but I'm going to hand tighten it with a glove on just to make sure I get a bit of extra grip. There we go. So I think that is the strap for the spray bottle. Just comes off like that, look. got the rough nozzle and the gentle nozzle, which actually say rough and gentle on them, which is nice because the other ones didn't. Because it just clips on there. Maybe I do need to have a quick look at the instructions. A little nozzle cleaner as well. I mean, if you've got, I'm sure people have got other tools that will do that job, but it's nice to have it. It actually does store here on the unit. It's nice to have onboard storage for that as well. Another quick tool rack. I'm loving this Weira ratcheting handle. It's a really lovely, smooth ratchet it's got on it. Not cheap, but great little kit. Right, the rest of it is pretty much the same as the 125, so let's get that down. So this is what I mean about the weight difference. I'm going to see if I can hold up to this one, and this is my left arm as well, my weaker arm. No props. I mean, you know, I could hold it for a minute, but this one, I mean, I'm not even going to. It's all I can do to do that. I mean, that's about the best I can do. So there is a significant weight difference between. You can see as well, it's a good bit chunkier. It's obviously much smaller. So, yeah. One other difference in the hoses is obviously the hose on this one is permanently connected, so you don't have to connect it each time, whereas this one, I've got to screw it into the thing every time. So that's a bit of a faff. Obviously you wouldn't pay the extra money for that, but this is what I mean. This one's like a rigid, let's see, like a rigid plastic hose. Don't know if that's going to come out, but it's all just kind of molded plastic, a bit like a hose pipe, but a bit more solid. Whereas this one, it's kind of got a more braided kind of look to it, and it's a bit more, I wouldn't say flexible. It's not really flexible, but it's not gonna, it doesn't kind of have a memory for its position as much, I think, is the best way I can think of saying it. Okay, I've come out to a different part of my patio, so I'm just going to try and wash off. As I say, all of this, the whole patio, it was all done about a month ago with the C125, but I'm going to have a go at especially those two dirty slabs there, and maybe those two. Have a go with the side-by-side with these and see how we go. I'll use the sort of shortest possible run to the pressure washers from here. Just use this small bit of hose. These don't have any they don't have any stop technology in them, whatever you call it. They just, the water passes straight through. They don't so if I took that off while it was, the tap was open, the water would just come out. Not that it makes much difference because I'm going to use the same bit of hose for both of them anyway, but yeah. Right, so let's see how we go. Okay, first up I'll do the C125. I will do the C125 on this bit closest to the wall, and then I'll use the new one, the 200, on this bit furthest away from the wall. So I'll do those three with the C125 now. Okay, so you probably saw it wasn't making a huge difference at all on those, and I was having to get very close, like with the nozzle, to make any real difference. So now let's have a go with the 200. All right, well, it's not night and day. Not night and day. Would I say it's 60% more powerful? No, I probably wouldn't. I was still having to get pretty close to make a difference. I mean, I suppose the fact that I pressure washed this a month ago is a factor here. I should maybe consider that. But and also, you probably noticed I started off doing that one with the 200, so apologies for that. I forgot I was meant to be doing this stripe. But anyway, yes, it's cleaner. Is it that much cleaner that it's worth the extra money? I mean, that's the question, isn't it? But it was a bit easier, definitely. And it is my most hated job of the year, so that's got to be worth something. I'm going to have a quick go with a patio attachment, which they sent me for free because there were some problems with my order. I have never had much luck with these before, but I'm just going to give it a go with the 200, see if it makes a difference. All right, let's give this patio attachment a go. It comes with two attachments. See those two white dots there? They're the kind of ones that come installed, and then there's two red ones that they call dirt hammers, which I assume are stronger. The instructions don't actually say. Why would you want the less strong ones though? Anyway, here we go. Well, it's fair to say that's a lot better than when I've tried patio attachments in the past. It's made a bit more of a difference. Interestingly, I kind of answered my own question there. As soon as I started using it, with those more powerful nozzles, there's so much force, it's actually trying to kind of lift up off the ground. You have to put a bit of force on just to hold it down to the ground. Let me just try and do those other ones as well with it. All right, well, yeah, you can clearly see it has got a fair amount more dirt up. I would still say, you know, it doesn't feel 60% more powerful, but can't deny that that's done a better job. And the patio attachment, for the first time in my life, has actually done a good job. You know, I've never had that before, which is tempting me to do the whole patio again, which goes pretty much the entire way around the house. So let's go back to the garage for some final thoughts. I said final thoughts, then I should say initial thoughts. Obviously, that's a better way of putting it. Before I do that, one thing I've discovered, which is quite nice, is that this is the piece that comes with the patio cleaner. You can actually use it as a lance extension, which is great because I'm 6'4" and I spend a lot of my time stooping down without an extension. I was actually going to buy one of the official Nilfisk ones, which are about 25 quid, certainly on Amazon anyway. But this works probably well enough, so I might not need to. I don't know, I might still. But I mean, what I've been doing with the old one, I never used to be able to find one. I didn't know they did them. I bought one of these, which allows these kind of more standard fittings. Then this end is Nilfisk. Those metal wings fit into the Nilfisk thing. But you can use these extensions, and then you can buy as many of these extensions as you want, and you can just have it as long as you want. So I used to use that, but being able to use the official Nilfisk stuff will be nicer. So what do I think? I mean, first of all, let's talk about price, because this cost me £540, which is a lot. This is in May 2024. I bought the C125.3 back in, I think, 2015, and it cost me about 130 quid from memory. So quite a big price difference. I know that was 2015 prices, but it seems like you can still get pressure washers in that price range these days that are about 120 bar, 130 bar sort of thing. They seem to shoot up once you go above like 140, 150 bar. I mean, there's a lot I love about it. The length of the hose, just amazing. The fact that it's a much better quality hose as well. But that obviously isn't worth hundreds of pounds on its own. I'm sure you can probably buy longer hoses for older models. I mean, I definitely love the fact that that patio attachment did a good job, because it never has done for me before with the previous one. Maybe it was the patio attachment, maybe it was the power, I don't know. If you've got an existing pressure washer with a patio attachment that's working for you, I would say maybe it's not worth upgrading. I didn't, and that for me is going to be a huge quality of life thing, because it normally takes me 2 days every year to do the whole patio around the house. So if there's a quicker, better way of doing it, I'm all for that. I mean, overall, I'm happy with it because I had the money to buy it, and I'm very lucky to have been in that position. It's a lot of money to spend though. I would say if you've got an existing solution that's working quite well for you, that you feel is good enough, then I wouldn't go splashing out. But can't deny that it's a really nice piece of kit, really well designed, and for me, it is going to be a huge quality of life upgrade. But yeah, definitely doesn't feel 60% more powerful than 125 bar pressure washer. As I say, I don't know how the science works. I'm sure that probably isn't quite, isn't an accurate or fair kind of expectation. But it's definitely more powerful. It's just not the kind of night and day difference I was perhaps hoping to see. But overall, I'm pretty happy because my previous solution wasn't really doing it for me. So this, I think, is going to be better. But yeah, so I suppose that's a bit of an inconclusive thing. What I am going to do, what we'll just tack on to the end after this, is I'm going to spend the rest of today, or maybe tomorrow, going around and doing the patio again, even though I only did it about a month ago. See how I feel about it after that. So I'll tack some kind of more thoughts onto the end just after this. So yeah, see you in a sec. This is that same area of patio I showed earlier. I'm not sure if it's going to look any different on video, but in the flesh, it looks a lot better than it did before I used the 200 on it with the patio cleaner. Oh, I'm knackered. So I've just been round and done the patio again. I think I said earlier, I just did it about a month ago. And I mean, these two things together have easily cut my time down to like a quarter of what it used to take. I've done it in half a day. It used to take me 2 full days. The nagging doubt in my mind is obviously, could I have got 90% of that same benefit for a lot less cost if I'd been able to find a patio attachment that worked well with that one? And I'm always going to think maybe, to be honest with you, but I've got no regrets on buying it. Maybe making this video will help someone else. But I mean, this is the patio attachment I used to have with the C125. It's a different design, it's a bit smaller. The nozzles are kind of different too. This one's obviously bigger. It's got different nozzles. These red nozzles are what they call dirt hammers. There's a little, I don't know if you can read it, but there's a thing at the back here where it's got the white nozzles in, and it says dirt hammers. But I mean, to be honest, why would you want anything other than the dirt hammers? Why would you want the white ones? Why would you want nozzles that weren't dirt hammers? I don't know. Anyway, so I just put the red one straight in. But this has been great. I realised that obviously this video is meant to be about the pressure washer, not the patio attachment. It's just that's kind of turned out to be a bit of a surprise star of the show for me. This thing is great though. I mean, another thing that isn't worth the cost on its own, but I mean the 15-metre hose, it's amazing. It just frees you up to do so much more quickly. Again though, obviously could I have bought a longer hose for that one and a better patio attachment? Maybe. So maybe these are things that you should probably look at for your pressure washer if you're thinking of splashing out. Do you want to pay 540 quid for this, or could you just pay a lot less and get a new patio attachment and a new hose that's longer? As I say though, no regrets. I'm happy I bought it. It's going to make life much easier for me every year. I mean, I do also use it for cleaning the car, but that was perfectly fine for cleaning the car. I had no complaints. So on its own for that, it wouldn't be worth it. Very nice as well that this bit that comes with the patio cleaner works really well as an extension. Oh, just, I mean, observation on using patio cleaners in general, and again, I realise I'm straying from the topic of this video, but when I was going around with the lance every year, you're blasting the water and the dirt away from where you are, so obviously you want to think about where you start so that you'll end up with all the dirt and water in a corner that you don't care about. But with this, because all the kind of water just is contained within here, you just end up standing in big puddles of water, so you still have to swap to the lance, or I was still swapping to the lance and blasting it out of the way. So it's kind of like patio cleaner for a bit, 10 minutes or something, switch to the lance, blast all the water and dirt further up to where you're going to be, then patio cleaner again, then lance again. So I was still doing that a lot. But still, like I say, a quarter of the time. I've done it in half a day as opposed to 2 full days. So very happy with that. Hopefully this video helps someone else, and yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers everyone.